I don't know why Doom 3 gets such a bad rap. I thought we all came to a point where we appreciated what it tried to accomplish at the time, in spite of the slower-paced gameplay, which wasn't even that bad.
ID Software used their engine as an excuse to break off from a formula that already worked, and gave us something that absolutely fucking no one asked for.
Come on, Adam. ID Software had already made it clear they didn't want to repeat the formula. Doom 3 is the result of bringing forth the identity of Doom and making a universe out of it. All that the classic games did was give you a big wall of text and called it a story.
Don't give me that shit. Doom 64 already did what Doom 3 did, but better. It kept the core elements of the classic games and changed the tone entirely without slowing anything down. If ID Software and their infinite wisdom didn't have the bright idea to waste time on the N64, we would have already had the Doom 3 we fucking wanted.
I've heard this story before. Doom 64 was more confusing than scary. The sound effects are dog shit, and music is non-existent other than the theme that no one fucking likes. You know what has a great theme, though? Doom 3. The theme behind that simply rocks, and it's not even up for...
There's a reason people among the Doom community still play the classics. They're unbeatable in their replayability. The gameplay is simple and elegant, and can run on anything. Doom 3 is just a facsimile of other horror games that came before it. I'll admit that the engine was good. It's just a shame that they had to wrap it around a slow-as-nails game like Doom 3. The game gives you sprint, and you can't even outrun some of the demons like the Pinky and the Commandos. What use are the power-ups when they're so far few in between?
The only reason people still play the classic Doom games is for their modding capabilities, nothing more. Doom 3 represents a more grounded and realistic experience in comparison to the originals. If the tech was available, then they would have made the game like Doom 3 anyway. I'll give points to the original Doom, but Doom 2 was just a lazy expansion that piggybacked off the hard work that the original game accomplished. Doom 3, at the very least, tried to do something original with the formula and setting.
If by original you mean by doing everything possible to slow down the action-packed of Doom by reloading, giving you stamina even though the previous entries never bothered with it. For fuck's sake, we're fighting demons from another dimension. Believing that Doom 3 is realistic is like believing that hentai is real.
I bet you've never even played the original games on ultra-violence. The frequency of hit-scan enemies and imp balls forced you to take your time due to the increased damage output. I don't know why people get this notion that Doom was fast-paced when it consistently punishes you for getting ahead of yourself. The only exception to the rule is Nightmare, because you have to treat it like a speedrun. Also, at least Nightmare in Doom 3 doesn't force you to face demons you've already killed every 20 fucking seconds.
I've beaten the classics on Nightmare, you pleb. To me, it sounds like a skill issue you seem to have if you think Nightmare in Doom 3 is even remotely challenging. Shotgun, Soul Cube, Shotgun, Soul Cube. And yeah, the shotgun sucks ass in that game too, but even with a piece of shit gun, the game is a fucking snooze fest. But maybe it should be called Snooze 3 since that seems to be more your type of game, Antoni.
I think the Nightmare difficulty is a joke, quite literally, since that it was made to be a joke by the developers. Doom 3's implementation of it is a more practical and funner experience, since it's dependent on your survival instincts, rather than playing the map a million fucking times just for the sake of getting out as fast as possible. I love seeing the same boring walls and static environments, the visually inferior sprites and sound bites. I have to mod with Brutal Doom or something else just to even remotely enjoy my time in those games nowadays. They were great for their time, but they're just outdated if they're being frank. I'm being nice by acknowledge the impact they've had on the entire FPS genre. But Doom 3 made an effort to try something else, and you can't take that away from ID Software for at least trying.
Jesus Christ, you demented ape, go ahead and enjoy Snooze 3. It's not my fault you got hoodwinked by ID Software insulting your intelligence and servicing you with a slow and boring game like Doom 3. I'd tell you to play 2016 instead, but I think somehow you'd argue about that game too.
Doom 2016 is just a slower version of Quake, where you recycle the same 3 weapons over and over again. Super Shotgun, Gauss Cannon, Rocket Launcher. What a boring fucking game.
Jesus fucking Christ.